This is Thursday, December the 24th, recording this about 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time here in the U.S. And taking a look at our heat maps and just to address some of the general trends that we see. If we look at the Aussie here, I mean across the board, weekly, daily, 4-hour, very bearish trends in place, as you can see. If we look at the 3-day, it's showing us here, and then our intraday charts, 4-hour, 1-hour, and 15-minute, also showing very bearish trends right now, especially, for example, not just the Aussie, but the CAD Swiss franc, as you can see, and the CAD Japanese yen, very bearish at this time. You can also see that our euro pairs are intraday this morning at this point at 7:30, pretty bullish. One of the ones I want to focus on, though, is the euro Japanese yen. Our 3-day panel in here shows us that the euro versus the yen is in a bearish trend, and those two orange check marks means that it's currently overbought. And we can see from our intraday signals here that it's in a pretty strong trending pattern moving up. So I'm looking for a place for that to turn and to come back into this 3-day trend. So there are some other pairs such as the New Zealand dollar versus the Canada dollar that's similar to that, and we could also look at a bounce for the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar down in here, since it's currently in a 3-day bullish trend but currently oversold. So let's go back up to the euro Japanese yen and flip over to our daily and 4-hour charts, and we'll see how that's looking. Starting on the right over here this time, we can see that our 4-hour Coppock Curve is showing us that bullish trend. Again, if we just place the crosshairs right on where that crossover occurred right up in here at this bounce. But one of the things we also noticed, something I've been pointing out in various charts and various services lately, is that we have this kind of divergence between how much price has gone up and how much Coppock Curve has gone up here relative to this fall that's here. So you can see the big move down here in price on the euro Japanese yen and how that's reflected in that big Coppock Curve here, rate of change. But then we have this Coppock Curve here that's moved up almost an equal distance, but price has not retraced hardly any of that. In fact, if we go here and we can pull our fib lines on the daily chart back from this low when the Coppock Curve was down at the bottom before it crossed over on the daily chart, come back up in here, you can see where we broke through the 23% fib line right around in this red line here. That's also where we had our Heikin-Ashi trend change candle on the daily chart, and that's also where our 5 EMA crossed through that line right around that same time. And of course that correlates to our crossover here on the Coppock Curve. So that was a great short entry there. So not currently qualified as a short. So what I'm watching for is I'm watching for this 4-hour Coppock Curve to cross back down. So I'm putting using TC2000 here in case you're interested, but setting an alert here for the Coppock Curve to cross down its exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart, so I don't have to keep watching it. I'll just know about it when I get the alert. And when that occurs, if it occurs sometime today, then I'll be taking that trade pretty much without even having to look at it, because the daily trend, as you can see, very bearish here. Chiku is still below the historical price curve. Price is below the Kumo, the overhead resistance area, and we're still below this 50% retracement line, as you can see right in here. So again, this would be an area of possible resistance right up here at the top line of that Heikin-Ashi candle right in there. So looking for possible resistance around 134.90 on the euro Japanese yen, and looking for that Coppock Curve confirmation possibility that you could, well, you can drill down to the 4-hour 30-minute charts, of course, to get a tighter entry on that. Hope you have a good day of trading.